Hello everyone, my name is Dula Fardi, and today I would like to talk about different kinds of light when it comes to doing wildlife photography. And this goes to my fellow photographic guides out there. When you're leading photographic expeditions, it's very important to know different kinds of light so that you can make wise use of them. The first light we have is what we call the golden hour. Now the golden hour, this is a light that you get in a very brief time of the day. It's either early in the morning or late in the evening. It is usually 1 hour just after the sun is rising and 1 hour before the sun sets. And with this kind of light, you can get beautiful high temperature kind of light towards the subject. And this allows you to also take some beautiful golden backlight kind of images. Now the other kind of light is what we call the backlight. Now backlight can be very tricky because again, this is when you have your subject in the middle of the camera and the sun. And this is a very challenging kind of light because most of the people will try and expose the subject. On the other hand, you only get these nice silhouette kind of shots with highlights that are popping up much more on the edges of your subject. Now the third kind of light, we have what we call the diffused light. Now diffused light is when you have an overcast weather where you get this heavy blanket of cloud that covers the sky. And I like this kind of light because it gives you flexibility in the long part of the day, because cloud is acting as a filter for your light. You can even take photography without any distraction of heavy punches of highlights from the sun. It can be tricky when you're in a very high dense vegetation area, but again, as a photographer or as a guide leading photographic expeditions out there, if you see such kind of a weather, take advantage of that. Now the other kind of light is what we call the heavy contrast light or the contrasty light. Imagine when you're in a very heavy dense vegetation or in a forest, or maybe it's a leopard on a tree where now you have heavy covers of the canopy. In this situation, you get these shadows creating those heavy contrasts. But still, you can still extract something out of this, because at this point, you can focus somewhere around the eye or around the face of your subject where the light is hitting and still extract something out of that. So with this kind of different kinds of light that I mentioned, you'll realize as a photographer, our weathercast is determined by the sun. We're constantly chasing the sun because that is the only natural light that we have out there, and we want to make the most out of that and take advantage of it. Again, I insist, when it comes to wildlife photography or any kind of photography, practice is the key. So right now, you go hold your camera, go out there, try and play with different kinds of light and see what you can extract out of that. See you next time.